Hi guys, today I am doing I don't know what to call this, a Bachelorette picks, Bachelorette favorites. My opinions on Bachelorette so far this season. This is season 13, it's Rachel Lindsay's season. I'm loving Bachelorette. You guys know I love The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, all about that. I love it, I hate it, but I love it. I love hating it. That show, no matter how much I'm like, oh, that's so fake, oh my god, that's so edited, oh my god, they edited it to look that way. I still love it. They know what they're doing, obviously. I have my top 4 picks. I am doing the Bachelorette Fantasy League. You do it on abc.com. I'll leave a link below. This season, I'm going strong. Like, I'm feeling very confident in my choices. So I'm gonna go in and give you my top 4 and then just talk about some of the other guys that are still on it as of this week. So I'm really excited about the season because I really like Rachel a lot. Never seen a Bachelor or Bachelorette more excited on the first night. She didn't look nervous at all. She just seemed very excited. She was smiling and I feel like she seemed really authentic about it. She didn't feel uncomfortable. But my first pick is Peter. Peter was the first guy out of the limo. I think he's gorgeous. I think he's the cutest guy on the show for sure. If I was gonna date anyone on the show, it would be him. He is the guy from Wisconsin. The line he gave when he came out of the limo was, I know you don't have a lot of luck with guys from Wisconsin because Nick was from there, but I hope I can change your mind or something like that. Like, I felt like it was very authentic. It was cute. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't like super boring. I really like him myself, but I'm not sure that I like him for her just yet. I do think he could be the guy that's a little bit boring compared to some of the other guys, like just for the season's sake. I do like Mike. I find him just to be really authentic. I think that he's like the male version of Catherine from Sean's season. I feel like he's gonna kind of be an underdog behind the gates. You're not gonna think that he's gonna make it, and then he's gonna be the guy that she picks. That's where I'm going with it, but you never know. I also like that he is in his 30s. She's in her 30s. I like that the season is doing that. In the past, they've gone down to girls that are really young, 21, 22, 23. Not that that's like not okay, but I just think you really gotta be desperate and ready for marriage to go on that show. We'll see girls that are 22 come on the show and be like, I've been waiting for the love of my life to meet this guy my entire life. For what, last 2 years? Like, what are you talking about? You know, back in the day when The Bachelorette first started, they actually had people who had real jobs and they were actually ready for all of this stuff. And I feel like lately it has been that way. It's been more of like people just want to get famous and stuff, and I'm hoping that this season veers from that a bit. Obviously, we have some people that clearly just want to be famous, but I think those were placed there by like production or whatever it is. He's my number 1 pick, so on the Fantasy League, he's my guy for the final rose. Like, I chose him, he's gonna do it. I really hope that it's him. If not, I could see him being the next Bachelor because he kind of has that like authentic vibe. So the second one of my top 4 is Eric. He's a personal trainer. Again, like, I don't feel like we didn't get to know him that well, but I felt like they had a connection. I felt like when they spoke, there was like a vibe there that I got anyway. So he could definitely go home like any minute, because he does seem a bit more on the boring side too, but he seems more authentic. She's gonna pick a guy that's more authentic, not super charming. I feel like she can see through that and get that she likes confidence, but I think that she can see the difference between confidence and being overly smooth to the point where like, you should question it. I think that Eric is smooth and confident, but not overly confident, if that makes sense. I could definitely see him going much further. He's kind of like the male version of Raven. And then Dean. Okay, Dean is questionable. Dean I almost didn't put on my top 4. I was very hesitant about him because he is younger. He's, I think, the youngest guy on the season. He's a cutie pie, but he looks young. Like, honestly, he looks younger than me. So that's fine. Go ahead, date younger guys. I mean, in my experience, it never works out. But I don't know, he definitely has confidence. He's kind of smooth, but he is young, so I feel like she trusts him because he hasn't, I don't know, like, I feel like she knows he's confident, but not so confident. He's the one that we met her earlier after the final rose, and he said that joke about, I'm ready to go black and never go back or something, and she thought that was funny, but I think that because he asked her what she thought of it, he was second guessing himself, so I think he's not too confident either. I definitely don't think that she's gonna pick him at the end, but I can see him going quite far, and I can definitely see him being on Bachelor in Paradise. Next is Bryan. Okay, Bryan got the first impression rose. He's cute, not my type at all. Honestly, to me, he looks too something. I'm not really sure. He has this look in his eye where he just always looks like he's up to something to me. She definitely doesn't get that vibe because she obviously gave him the first impression rose. She obviously likes him. I think he's the only one that kissed her on the first night. Oh my god, that's another thing. I hope he doesn't make it to the top 4 because I don't want to see him kissing her every single week because his kisses are horrible. Please tell me you agree with me in a comment. His kisses were so aggressive. It looked like he was sucking her face off. It was all lippy and tonguey and wet and ugh. It was so gross. I hate, like, there's some guys on the show you can tell they're a good kisser. You're like, damn. but this guy looked like a horrible kisser. Or she was into it, I don't know, maybe he just looked that way. He just looks like a very aggressive kisser, and that's not my kind of thing. Personally, if he asked me out, I would be like, hell no. But I could see him going far because he got the first impression rose, and I feel like normally that person does go pretty far. And I could see her liking him. I'm pretty sure he's the one that spoke to her in Spanish. He's a chiropractor, so he actually has a job. He's just not my favorite. Okay, after top 4, these are some of the guys that I took a notice of. Jamie. Okay, Jamie, I have known nothing about him, but he looks exactly like Robbie from JoJo season. Like, they could be brothers. They look so similar. I'm gonna try to do a comparison. They look like the same person. I don't like it. I'm not attracted to that. Like Robbie, I was so unattracted to him. I don't like Jamie. I definitely don't think she's gonna keep him around for much longer. Just pointing out that they look exactly the same. It'd be amazing if Jamie went on Paradise and Robbie was on Paradise and they hung out and they were like, oh my god, we're brothers, we look the same. That's just my theory. Next, okay, Demario. Demario, she met him on after the final rose. He's a cutie, but he's very smooth, like so smooth and sly and slick. He seems like the guy that she's gonna see and like, and he's confident and he's attractive and everything. But I think he's gonna be the villain, maybe. He's gonna be the guy that you question. I'm questioning him already. I'm not sure why. He just gives me that vibe of like, dude, you're way too confident. You're too slick. I don't see him making it more than top 6, maybe top 8. I think that's usually when that guy goes home. I can see other guys going up to her and being like, oh, he's not here for the right reasons. So even if he is, I can just see them looking at him and his confidence and taking it that way. Next, Lucas. Lucas is the Wha-boom guy. I don't get it. Oh my god, it's annoying. Obviously, he just wants to be famous. Completely made that clear the first night, and she clearly only kept him there because the producers asked her to. I get it. Whatever. He's gonna be gone pretty soon. He's the guy that a lot of people have kept before the first night who gets really, really drunk and is kind of crazy and embarrassing, but you keep them because you feel bad because they're probably just nervous and drinking too much. But I think he's just embarrassing. He's the human version of the Tasmanian devil. Next, Blake. Okay, Blake is an aspiring drummer. Yeah, so whatever that means. He's the guy who complains about everyone, and I know he's just gonna get worse and worse and worse until he goes home. He's the guy that's gonna go to her and be like, he's not here for the right reasons. He's not here for the right reasons. He's not here for the right reasons. He's gonna be the guy always talking about the other guys. He's gonna be the guy that knows nothing about Rachel, doesn't listen to her, doesn't want to get to know her better, doesn't worry about his relationship, only cares about other people, kind of like Taylor from last season. He's gonna be that guy, that really annoying, sensitive guy who's there just to start things, and he's like, oh, I'm such a victim, but really he's the one starting anything and could just leave it alone and not worry about the other guys. But I don't like him already. That drives me crazy. And next, Josiah. Isn't Josiah the guy that she knew from childhood? I think she kept him around. I hope I'm not wrong here. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that she was like, oh, in 3rd grade he was a bad boy, like I don't trust him, which I kind of want to see him stick around just because I want to know what he did that was so bad that made her be like, ooh, it's a 3rd grader, he was so bad. And I think that is all I wrote down to talk about today. But I did want to mention real quick, if you haven't heard, Ben and Lauren broke up. Dun dun dun, I know, what a shocker. When he picked her, I liked JoJo better, but I thought that Lauren was better for Ben because they kind of had that same both immature vibe, and I think JoJo's too mature for Ben. And when I watched Ben and Lauren, their show, oh my god, I hated Lauren so much, and anyone who didn't, I don't get you. She was such a snob, she was so bratty, all she did was complain. And I just found it to be really annoying, and all he was trying to do was do his best. He was trying to give her everything she wanted, and she was just like complaining. And then when he wanted to push off the wedding, not cancel, but he just wanted to push it off into the future more, she was like, what the hell? But it made sense what he was saying. He was like, yeah, we don't know each other that well. And she was like, I want to have a dog, and I want to have kids, and I want a pet, and I want a house, and all this stuff. He was like, okay, I get it. That's what we're going to do, but let's like take our time to get there. And I think that she was rushing as soon as ABC offered to have the wedding on TV. She was like, oh my god, yeah, I want a big wedding. On his season, I really liked her. I thought she seemed really authentic and sweet. But oh my god, afterward, I think she got really big-headed. I just think they were both too immature. They both weren't ready for marriage. At the same time, right around the same time, Becca and Robert broke up. So Becca was the one who was on Crystal's season and Ben's season. I loved her. I always thought she was super sweet. Although recently, I'm finding her to kind of the same thing happened to Lauren. They were really sweet, but I feel like now that they're like famous, they've kind of gotten not spoiled, but kind of spoiled. And she was dating Robert, who I really liked. Robert was my favorite from Andy's season. They broke up recently, so that's kind of sad. But all 4 of them now possibly could be on Paradise. It would be awkward if there was like ex-couples, but I think that would be super interesting. Like, I doubt they'll do that because no one would go on knowing that the other person was there. But I'm really excited for Paradise. You know, Chris Soules can't go to Paradise because he was arrested, so he got his passport taken. If you haven't read about that, you can Google it. But I'm excited for Paradise. I can't wait to see who's on there. I'm excited excited to see what happens on Rachel's season, so let me know in a comment below any of your thoughts on this season. I'd love to know your opinions. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that, and please subscribe to see more from me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!